Your soul feels tired because you've been carrying too much alone. You have been pretending to be okay for so long that people actually believe you are strong. But deep inside, something is breaking. Your soul is tired. Not because you are weak. Not because you failed. Not because God abandoned you. Your soul is tired because you have been carrying pain that nobody helped you carry. You keep fighting silent battles inside your mind while telling everyone, "I'm fine." You carry pressure, fear, responsibility, disappointment, emotional wounds nobody knows about. And the worst part is this: you became so used to suffering silently that you no longer realize how heavy your soul has become. Some nights you smile around people, then go home and feel completely empty. Your body rests, but your mind never stops running. You pray, but still feel emotionally exhausted. You try to stay strong for everybody while nobody notices that you are slowly running out of strength yourself. But listen carefully. What if this exhaustion is not weakness? What if God is showing you that you were never meant to carry all of this alone? Because the moment a soul keeps carrying pain without release, something dangerous begins to happen inside a person, and most people do not realize it until it is already consuming their peace. The invisible weight people don't see. One of the most painful things about emotional exhaustion is that nobody can actually see it. People only see the version of you that keeps functioning. They see you working, helping, smiling, answering messages, showing up, staying strong. But they never see the pressure building inside your soul every single day. Nobody sees how tired your mind becomes from carrying everyone else emotionally. You became the person people lean on, but who do you lean on when your own spirit starts collapsing? That is the hidden burden destroying so many people silently. You listen to everybody's problems while hiding your own. You encourage others while secretly feeling empty yourself. You give peace to people while losing your own peace, little by little. And after a while, something changes inside you. You stop talking about your pain because you think nobody will understand it anyway. So you suffer quietly. You cry privately. You overthink constantly. You carry emotional wounds that never fully healed. Then one day you wake up feeling emotionally numb and you do not even recognize yourself anymore. The dangerous part is that many strong people do not break loudly. They break silently. They continue functioning while slowly losing joy, energy, hope, and emotional stability inside. Maybe that is exactly where you are right now. Still standing, still surviving, still smiling. But completely exhausted underneath it all. And if this emotional weight keeps growing without healing, it can slowly begin separating a person from peace, from purpose, and even from God in ways they never expected. Why your soul is actually exhausted. Your soul is not exhausted only because of what happened to you. It is exhausted because of what you keep carrying after it happened. Some people carry fear for years. Some carry guilt. Some carry betrayal. Some carry the pressure of trying to hold everything together so nobody sees them fall apart. And little by little, the weight becomes too heavy for the heart to handle. You were never created to carry every burden by yourself. But somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that asking for help meant weakness. So instead of releasing the pain, you learned how to hide it. You learned how to survive with it. You learned how to function while emotionally bleeding inside. That is why your soul feels tired. Not because God left you. Because you have been carrying emotional battles that were slowly draining your spirit every single day. You keep replaying conversations in your mind. You keep carrying mistakes God already forgave. You keep trying to control situations that are completely outside your power. And your mind never rests because your soul never releases anything. There are people listening to this right now who look calm on the outside but are fighting constant storms internally. Fear, anxiety, pressure, loneliness, mental exhaustion. Nobody notices because silent suffering does not make noise. But heaven sees it. God sees every hidden burden you carry in private. He sees the nights when your thoughts become too heavy. He sees the moments when you feel emotionally overwhelmed but continue pretending to be strong anyway. And maybe that is why this message found you today. Because there comes a moment when God stops allowing a soul to carry alone what only His hands were meant to hold. The dangerous silence of a tired soul. The most dangerous kind of exhaustion is the one nobody notices, because when a soul stays tired for too long, it slowly begins losing the ability to feel peace. At first, you only feel stressed, then emotionally drained, then mentally overwhelmed. But after a while, something deeper starts happening inside you. You stop feeling joy the way you used to. You stop feeling motivated. You stop feeling emotionally connected to people. Even your relationship with God starts feeling distant, not because God moved away from you, because your soul became buried underneath too much pain, pressure, fear, and emotional weight. Many people think they are simply tired, but deep inside, their spirit is crying for rest. That is why some people can sleep 8 hours and still wake up exhausted. Their body rested, but their soul never did. Their mind kept fighting battles all night long. And the frightening part is this: a person can become so familiar with emotional exhaustion that suffering starts feeling normal. They laugh in public while breaking in private. They continue helping everybody while secretly losing themselves. They keep saying, "I'm okay," because explaining the pain feels too exhausting. That kind of silence destroys people slowly. Not all pain screams. Some pain hides behind fake smiles, quiet tears, and exhausted eyes. Maybe nobody around you understands how heavy your heart has become lately. But God understands. He sees the pressure you never talk about. He sees the anxiety you hide from others. He sees the emotional weight you carry every day without complaining. And sometimes God allows exhaustion to reach its limit for one reason: to bring a person to the moment where they finally stop carrying alone what was destroying them silently. The moment Jesus invites the weary. There is a reason Jesus spoke so deeply to exhausted people. Because He understands what it feels like to carry pain, rejection, pressure, and sorrow. And maybe that is why His words still reach broken souls today. "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Not pressure, not condemnation. Rest. Notice something powerful. Jesus never said, "Come to me when you become perfect." He never said, "Come to me when you stop struggling." He never said, "Come to me after you fix yourself." He simply said, "Come." That invitation is for the people who feel emotionally exhausted, for the people silently breaking inside, for the people who have been carrying life alone for too long. Because God never expected you to survive without Him. Some people think strength means hiding pain, but real strength is surrendering what is crushing your soul before it destroys your peace completely. You do not have to keep pretending anymore. You do not have to carry every fear alone. You do not have to hold every emotional wound inside your chest forever. You do not have to keep acting strong while your soul quietly collapses. God sees the version of you nobody else sees. The exhausted version, the anxious version, the overwhelmed version. And He is not disappointed in you. He is calling you closer. Sometimes the breakthrough people pray for does not begin with more effort. It begins with release. Because the moment a tired soul finally places its burdens into God's hands, healing quietly begins where suffering once lived. What you must let go of today. Some of the pain destroying your peace is coming from things you were never meant to keep carrying. You keep carrying guilt from seasons God already forgave. You keep carrying memories that continue reopening old wounds. You keep carrying the pressure of trying to save everyone while slowly losing yourself in the process. And your soul is exhausted because it was never designed to hold this much emotional weight alone. There are things you need to release before they destroy your inner peace completely. Release the need to control everything. Not every situation is yours to fix. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every burden belongs on your shoulders. Release the fear of disappointing people. Some people will misunderstand you no matter how much you sacrifice for them. If you spend your entire life trying to carry everybody's expectations, your soul will eventually collapse underneath the pressure. Release the pain you keep replaying every night. Some wounds stay alive because you keep reopening them inside your mind. God cannot heal what you refuse to stop reliving. Release the version of yourself that pretends to be strong all the time. Even strong people need rest. Even faithful people get tired. Even people who pray deeply can become emotionally overwhelmed. That does not make you weak. It makes you human. And maybe this is the moment your soul finally stops surviving and starts healing. Because peace begins when surrender replaces control. The moment you stop carrying everything alone, something inside you begins breathing again. Hope returns, strength returns, clarity returns. Not because life suddenly becomes easy, because your soul is no longer carrying a weight that only God was meant to hold. Prophetic emotional finale. If your soul has been feeling tired lately, this message was not an accident. God sees the battles nobody else knows about. He sees the pressure hidden behind your smile. He sees the nights when your thoughts become too heavy. He sees the moments when you feel emotionally drained but continue trying to stay strong for everyone around you. And today, He is telling you something your exhausted soul desperately needed to hear. You do not have to carry this alone anymore. The pain, the fear, the anxiety, the emotional pressure, the silent suffering. Place it in God's hands before it crushes your peace completely. Because some burdens become too heavy when a person keeps carrying them without surrender. You have cried enough in silence. You have fought enough private battles. You have spent too much time pretending you were okay while your soul slowly became exhausted underneath the weight of everything you never released. But this season will not destroy you. God is still sustaining you even in the moments when you feel weak. Even now, while you are listening to this message, heaven is closer than you think. One day you will look back at this painful season and realize something powerful. God was carrying you during the very moments you thought you would not survive. And maybe for the first time in a long time, your soul can finally stop fighting for a moment and simply rest. If this message reached you at the right moment, write Amen in the comments. And remember this tonight: a tired soul is not a forgotten soul. God still sees you, God still hears you, and God is still walking beside you through every burden you thought you had to carry alone.